3, 2, 1, 0.
What is up, whatever nation? That's what I'm gonna start calling this. I'm gonna start calling us whatever nation, because that's what we're about. We're about whatever it takes to get the job done. I would just love to welcome y'all to episode 8 of the podcast of whatever I find entertaining. I want to apologize to y'all for not being here last week. Some unforeseen circumstances that I'm not going to bore y'all with happened, and I couldn't get the episode done in time. I'm sorry about that. It won't happen again. I kind of promise you that. Kind of promise. But first things first, at the top of the episode, like usual, wellness check. How is everything? How are you doing today? I'm talking to you personally. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking to you right now. Just you. Nobody else. Just you. How you doing today? Was this week better than last week? Are you being healthier mentally, physically, and spiritually than you were last week? Are you thinking of ways of improving yourself next week? I hope so. Because I just want to see you strong. I want to see you beautiful. And I want to see you make it in life. That's what's really important. Because the podcast is whatever it is to you. But I just want to see you happy out there. I want to see a happier world. So I hope everybody's doing as great as they possibly can and being better people to the people around them than they were last time they had a chance to be better. So just wellness check yourselves. If I'm not around to do it, just never hesitate to check on yourself, because a lot of people don't do it, and there's definitely a need for it. But besides that, I do want to make 2 announcements before we get into our topics this week. 2 announcements. One, I finally, after my brothers had to get on my head, I finally got the episodes up on YouTube. You can go to deethezo on YouTube. That's DEETHEZO. That's the YouTube channel. There's a bunch of stuff on there. I've been on YouTube for a long time now. I kind of kept it separate from the podcast thing because, it's separate from the podcast thing. But the videos up there, the entire episodes 1 through 7, and then 2 bonus episodes are up there. You can listen to them at your leisure, have fun with it. Also, you can comment on there, let me know what you think of the episodes, just in case whatever platform you listen to your podcast on, they don't, leave room, or there's no comment feature on that platform. You can comment on the YouTube channel. Every episode will go up the day after the podcast is live. So I'm really excited about that. Really happy for that. Another thing, second announcement, is I now have a support page. Whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, in the description, there should be a link to a support page. Also on the YouTube channel, in the description of every video, there's a link to the support page. Just simply, if you want, does not matter to me if you do or you don't, just out of the kindness of your heart, if you want to donate a little to the cause of helping me better the podcast, go right ahead. It is not accepted. It is not expected. I said accepted. It is not expected. It is not wanted. By warranted, I don't mean wanted like I don't want it. I mean warranted like I'm not telling you have to. It's just out of the kindness of your heart. If you just want to be a nice guy, if you got $1 and you're burning a hole in your pocket and you want to give it away, that's perfectly fine. But you absolutely do not have to. It's just in the description of the podcast. There's always a link to subscribe to whatever we find entertaining. Whatever I find entertaining. Whatever the title of this thing is, I keep forgetting. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out the way. I think that's it. I think that's it for the intro. That's all I needed to get out of the way. We all wellness checked ourselves. We all know about the announcements. I think that's a good start. So we can get into the topics. Since I missed last week, can't lie, there's a lot of topics we got to get through today. We got to talk about, there's been an announcement for Last of Us Part 3. Want to talk about Ironheart, one of the new Disney Plus series that's supposed to be coming. We got the Demon Slayer movie. We got Without Remorse, that Michael B. Jordan joint. The Eternals, Phase 4 in the MCU, and we got Power Book 3. So we got a lot to get through. Honestly, I also want to talk about Invincible as well. I might start, you know what I'm gonna do at the beginning? We're gonna get Invincible out the way. But but that's what we finna talk about on today's episode. It's gonna be a comic book heavy episode. So if comics ain't your favorite, just getting it out the way. It's gonna be some comic books. Also, because I be forgetting and y'all be getting on my head, spoiler warnings for everything. I just all the things in the topic. Spoiler warnings for everything that I'm gonna talk about today. Since I'm talking about part 3 of Last of Us, I might be spoiling part 2 and part 1, maybe. Just letting you know, spoiler warning. So if you haven't beat 1 or 2 and you don't want to hear about shit, then I'll let you know in the show that, hey, now I'm finna talk about this, so you might want to skip this section or however it works with you. Also, same thing goes for Power, Demon Slayer, Invincible, what else? Without Remorse. I'm finna spoil all that. Not right this second, but throughout the episode today, there will be spoilers for that. So just letting you know in case I don't do the spoiler warning right when I talk about it, because I be forgetting sometimes. I be forgetting to put spoiler warnings. But that wraps up our topic section. So I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna talk about Invincible. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, welcome back, y'all. Let's get started. We're gonna start the show off with Invincible. In case you don't know, it's a older comic book than I thought it was, but recently Amazon Prime has adopted it for a show, and they just finished their eight maybe 10 episode run for the first season. And I watched it all. I'm fully caught up. I loved it so much. Absolutely. It was fantastic. Phenomenal. Some of the best comic book stuff I've seen in a long time. And there's a guy whose podcast is mostly about comic book stuff. So, like, it's some of the best comic book stuff I've seen in a really long time. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how to sing its praises enough. Very gritty, very it's serious, but it doesn't take itself serious, which a lot of things fail on. And in case you don't get what I mean, it's like serious means you deal with serious issues. Like you deal with death, you deal with acceptance, you deal with identity, those kind of things. But you don't like there's room for humor and there's room for jokes and there's room for silly relationships and stuff like that. So you can have serious stuff and not take yourself too seriously. And this has a perfect, at least I know there's time about the show. It has a perfect blend of serious and humorous stuff. And it gets pretty dark at times. I think it's been a minute because I just finished it, but it's been a minute since I watched the first. I think in the first episode once again, pause. Because I'm finna spoil the first season of Invincible. I'm glad I didn't say nothing yet, so y'all can't get on me for no spoiler warning, because I didn't say nothing yet. All I said was I've seen it all. So spoiler warnings for episode 1 through, I think it was 8 episodes. It might have been 10. But for the first season, I'm finna spoil. So I don't want to hear nothing about oh man, you ain't tell us you was going to spoil it, but I ain't got to see it yet. Not my problem. Spoiler warnings. So, I think it was like the first episode, pause. So the people who haven't seen it yet can leave, and it could just be us, the real fans. All right, that's good enough. I think it was the first episode where he literally beat the dog shit out of the what are their names, their version of the Justice League or the Avengers or whatever you want to call them. He murdered all of them, and it was gross and it was fucked up and it was sick, but it looked cool as hell. I ain't gonna say that. They really showed right away how much more powerful Omni-Man is than anybody else on this planet. How he's just on a different fucking level. So yeah, it was pretty jacked up, but yeah, so far I love what they're doing with it. I love it so much that I've already started. The minute the show was over, I was like, yeah, I'm finna start reading the books. So I'm already reading the comic books. I reactivated my Comixology account for this. Comixology, if you wanna look for a brand deal, I'm right here. I got no problem promoting you. You know, just make the call. Just make the call. I do the brand deals. Anyway, yeah, I reactivated my Comixology app just so I could read this book. Cause I haven't actually read. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't actually read a comic book in a long time. But it's great. I love it. I love what they're doing with the show. I don't know when season. I assume there's got to be a season 2, bro. They'd be dumb not to. So I'm not sure when that's gonna be. But I'm not gonna wait around for it. By the time season 2 come, I'm gonna have the whole story read. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's it for Invincible. I don't really. I guess I didn't spoil too much. But it starts off brutal and it ends brutal. I'll say that much. I mean, I don't really need to. I guess I could talk about what I learned in the book so far. But I mean, there are differences, but they're not that different. And if you haven't seen the show or read the books, then what I can't really explain it to you. But I'm enjoying. I'm not that far. I'm only on like the eighth or ninth issue of the book, so I ain't got that far. But anyway, that was my take on Invincible. It's phenomenal. If you like comic book stuff, you're gonna love it. If you're more on the lighthearted side of the like MCU type stuff, this might not be for you. But if you like stuff like The Boys, which is another Amazon Prime thing, I'm just saying, maybe Amazon Prime is what a comic book. But if you like stuff like this is right up your alley. This is definitely, I highly recommend it if you just like comic books, bro, but you don't have a problem with mature content. If you don't have a problem with mature content and you like comic books, this for you, guaranteed. Main characters great. I don't want to call them side characters. Support characters. Support characters great. There's definitely a lore there to dive into. It's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. All right, we're done with our Invincible talk. So if you're tuning back into the show, Invincible spoilers are over. Now we're finna talk about something I couldn't possibly spoil because it's the future. We're talking about the MCU. They recently, I think last week, maybe it was earlier this week, released MCU 4 trailer. No, that's not right. MCU Phase 4 trailer is what I'm trying to say. They released a Phase 4 trailer just to tease all their up and coming projects. Everything was a movie. They didn't talk about any of the shows, the Disney Plus stuff. They just talked about movies. They talked about Black Widow. Well, they didn't talk about anything. I guess they just teased all of it. They just showed you clips. They did Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Thor, Black Panther 2, which apparently is being called Wakanda Forever, which I didn't know that. I thought that was like a working title, but they got the logo for it and everything, and that was Marvel. So, I mean, once they get the logo, there ain't much they changing. So yeah, Wakanda Forever, The Marvels, which is apparently what Captain Marvel's second movie is going to be called, The Marvels. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians 3. So yeah, they just tease all of them. I think everything on that list of stuff I just named is going to be coming out sometime between right now and 2023. So it's like the next 3 years and movies, which is, I mean, honestly, that's as far ahead as I need you to look. Everything I've been waiting for is already on the list. Been waiting for Spider-Man, of course. Been waiting on the damn. Y'all already know how long I've been waiting on the damn Doctor Strange 2. Black Panther 2, of course. Thor's next movie. Ant-Man's next movie. Guardians next movie. I guess I've been waiting on Black Widow. I mean, yeah. I mean, I was and then I was. It's like, at first I didn't care. But then I started seeing trailers. I'm like, damn, this look kind of dope. But then it was like, oh, I don't know when it's coming out, so I don't care anymore. So now I'm kind of like, bro, look, if it drop, it drop. If it don't, it don't. I lost interest. I hope it's good. I hope it's dope. But we already talked about that on the show, so we're not finna spend too much time talking about that. What we will talk about, transition, because you know me, I'm super good at transitions, bro. I do my transitions. We're going to talk about something they did announce last week. It was last week. Ironheart. I almost said Ironheart 3 for some reason. Why was I finna say Ironheart 3? That don't make no sense. But the Ironheart Disney Plus show Got the star announced, who's going to be playing Riri Williams, and they announced the head writer for the show, Shanika, I think. I pray if for some strange reason the head writer of the Disney Plus show Ironheart somehow hears this podcast, please, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. It's Chinaka and then Hodge. So I'm thinking Shanika, but I could be 100% wrong. Let's not well name too much. I don't know much about her, but she has worked on a couple TV shows. She's a poet. She's a playwright. She's an educator. She's got a lot going on, bro. She wrote for that Snowpiercer, not the movie. There's a Snowpiercer show, because Snowpiercer, the movie, was based on a book. So the show, I guess, is based on the book, and she's wrote on that. There was some other show that was a remake of something. I can't remember the name of it though. But yeah, she's wrote. Oh, she's also wrote. Did I say she was an author? Because she's an author too. Well, if you write a book of poems, does that make you an author or just a poet? Because she's published 2 books of poems. But I'm saying if you published a book, that's got to make you an author, right? But they're poems, so you're definitely a poet. I don't know. She got 2 books published. Yeah, and then the star of the show is Dominique Thorne, which I'm pretty sure I pronounced that one right. She hasn't been in too much, and I'm not 100% sure. I know of the things she has been in, but at this point, as you've heard me say a million times, I got no. What's the opposite of confidence? Whatever the opposite of confidence is, I don't have any of doubt, I guess. I don't have any doubt that Marvel is casting right. And Marvel is picking the right people to write and picking the right people to direct. Like I don't got no doubt in my heart. So whoever they pick to write this joint is the right person. Whoever they pick to star in this mug is the right person. I don't got no doubt. I don't got no time to doubt. Because the shows may have been a gamble at first, but after WandaVision and after the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I can't doubt the shows no more. Them shows were brilliant. I loved them. I loved both of them. Them shits was dope. And I got no reason to believe that Loki not gonna be dope too. So I guess moving on from the Phase 4 and moving on from Ironheart, we got Power Book 3 released the trailer. I fucking forgot the release date though. Shit. I'm disappointed in myself. I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, look. We're gonna post-production. Whoever's in charge of editing this, when you hear me say the thing about I don't remember the release date, cut that. And now make it sound like I never forgot the release date and I remembered right away. It's July 18th. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna rewind it back. It was like Power Book 3 released a trailer today. Release date is July 18th. In case y'all didn't know, because I knew the whole time. But the release date is July 18th. In case you didn't know, it's a prequel to the original. It shows how Kanan came up, and I assume it's gonna go all the way to when he kind of showed Ghost and Tommy the game. I don't know how far they're gonna go because it's early 90s. So he's pretty. I want to say Kanan is like Tariq's age. I think he's younger than Tariq is in Power. He might be younger. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure on any of that. But yeah, the trailer was dope. There's not much news. I mean, all I know is for a fact that I think they're keeping Kanan's dad, the casting for him. I think they're keeping that secret. I think. I could be wrong on that though. But there ain't much news. Just they Showtime released a trailer and sorry. But Showtime, if you want to do a deal with me, I represent product placement or whatever. I got you. Okay. Stars released the trailer and told us the release date. But it was a dope trailer. The kid who's playing, I don't call him a kid. He's a professional actor. the guy that got playing Kanan. I mean, so it was a short little trailer. It was like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, but it looks good to me. There's a character playing his mom. She looks good. I can't wait to see where they go with it. I can't wait. Power definitely impressed me with book 2. I didn't think I would give a shit about Tyreek. I didn't think I'd give a shit about his story, but it was really good. Everybody in there was fan-damn-tastic. Not everybody. There are some characters I hate, but we're not here to review Book Power 2. We're here to talk about early Book Power 3, which is going to be great. I can't wait. But yeah, I think that wraps it up for the news of Power Book 3. Last thing I want to talk about before I get into it, because I got two main topics that I want to talk about today. But the last minor one is for some reason there's news that The Last of Us part, I almost said book 3. I almost said book 3, but The Last of Us part 3 is it's not being made, so calm down. It's not being worked on. The creator, Neil Druckmann. Druckmann? I think it's Druckmann. He was doing an interview. And in the interview, they asking him about, will there be a part 3? And he said, and I quote, "I don't know how much I want to reveal. We did write an outline for a story that we're not making. But I hope one day we can see the light of day." So he's working on a story. He has no idea if it's going to be anything. It may be. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't do a part 3. But if you'd asked me the same thing like 3 years ago, if they're doing a part 2, I'd have been like, no, man, that's dumb. You don't need to do a part 2. But I'm also one of those people on the side of the fence that part 2 was 100% better than part 1. I don't care what the rumors tell you. I don't care what you heard on the streets of the video gaming world. Part 2 was on every sense of the word better than part 1. The only complaint I have is that they kind of fractured their story to where they would like show you one thing and then flash back and then jump ahead and then current and then 2 weeks in the past and then 3 months in the future and then current. It's like sometimes keeping up with the story of where things happened and where they happened is like, oof. It got kind of confusing. Once you play through the game a second time though, wait, like who's gonna play this one time? Once you kind of play through it a second time, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. This happened before. It makes more sense to you. But yeah, going through it once, it's like, you'll be in a scene that's like, wait, did this take place before or after so-and-so did so-and-so? But yeah, I'm one of the, I mean, I know some people was hating on it, but there's also some idiots out there that thought, oh man, I can't believe Joel died. That's fucked up. And in my head, I'm thinking, did you watch any other promotional material for this game before it came out? Who the hell thought Joel was gonna make it through this game? Like one of the biggest, what's what I'm looking for? One of the biggest theories out there is that Joel was already dead and Ellie was talking to his ghost. That was one of the biggest theories before this game came out. So I don't know how people thought he was gonna make it through this game. Like, don't get me wrong. I didn't know he was gonna die this damn early. I don't know what I thought, but yeah, I thought maybe he's gonna get taken by somebody, and the whole game was gonna be Ellie trying to get to him, and then by the time she get there, he's dead. That's what I thought the game was gonna be, but they took a much better angle. That's why they're the professional video game writers, and I'm just some dude doing a podcast. But the way they went about it was much better than anything I had planned. And the switching up halfway through the game and becoming Abby instead of Ellie was great. I loved it. It made sense because, I mean, if you only see it's funny because if you only see the story from Ellie's side, yeah, Abby's the villain. But there's a certain point of the game. I don't remember when it takes place, but there's a certain point in the game, and now I'm just blabbing on about part 2. This is going to be the last thing I'm going to say. I'm not going to blab on about part 2. But if there's a certain point in the game where Ellie gets some information, well, I can spoil it. Fuck you. I already said spoiler warnings. She finds out why these people did this shit to Joel and how he had it coming. Like, to be honest with you, and she still decides to go on her revenge thing, that makes her the villain, bro. After that, she's definitely the villain of the show. I said show. She's definitely the villain of the game. I don't care if you're controlling her. She's still the villain because she knew why. And what's crazy is she was mad at Joel for the same shit, but she still went on this revenge kick. And even after she lost, she went on her revenge kick and lost to Abby. And was like, fuck it, I lost. You know what? She got the best of me. I'm going ahead with my wife. We're going to live on a farm. And we're going to herd sheep, eat sheep, use them for their clothing. I don't know what they were doing with the sheep. And then her fucking uncle come in with that bullshit recruiting her to go on another mission. Another fucking dummy mission. But once again, I'm not finna sit here and go on. I love Last of Us Part 2. It was way better than Last of Us 1. If you don't like me, see me in the streets. We can fight over it. That's cool. I ain't no problem with it. But that's it. That wraps that up. I guess the next thing I want to talk about is we can talk about Demon Slayer. We can talk about the Demon Slayer movie. That's what we're gonna do. Let me take a quick break, and then we're gonna get to the Demon Slayer stuff. I'll be right back. And we are back. Welcome back, everybody. It's time to talk about the Demon Slayer movie. Demon Slayer, the movie, the Mugen Train, or the Infinite Train, because Mugen is infinite in Japanese. I don't know. But I don't even know why it was... Whatever. Anyway, I just want to start off by saying shout out to my brother Trail. He hit me with the link so I can watch it, because I ain't going to theaters to see this joint. I'm sorry. I mean, if it wasn't for this link, I'd have paid to watch it later. But nah, I ain't going to the movies at all this year. Hopefully by the time Marvel stuff start dropping next year, everything will be cooler. But nah, not right now. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, shout out to my brother Trail. He hit me with the link so I could watch it. No, I won't be dropping the link in the description. I'm not finna, nah. In case this is like something that the creators want to go after, you're not gonna be tracing nothing back to me. You're not gonna be tracing a thing back to me. And I'm like, no, shut his YouTube down, shut the podcast. No, I'm not putting no links in nothing. But yeah, it was a dope. First thing I'll say is dope, amazing movie. That's 3 amazings. That's how amazing this shit was. I'm really back interested in the world of Demon Slayer because I love the anime so far. But keep it real, it's been hella since I watched anything Demon Slayer related. I was going to just rewatch the first season before this movie dropped, but the movie kind of popped up on me out of nowhere. That's my fault. So I wasn't ready, so I didn't get to do that. But still, you don't really. I definitely advise you watch the first season before you watch this movie. I can't say that you need to. Some stuff won't make sense, but most importantly, some stuff won't mean as much to you as other stuff does. So yeah, definitely watch the first season first. Definitely. I think there's only one season. Yeah, there's only one season. So definitely watch the first season first before you watch this movie. Definitely. I'm not saying I'm giving that a you got to. You know, you gotta watch the first season first. It's just there's moments in here. And oh, by the way, spoiler alert for Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train, Mugen Train, the Infinite Train, because it's about to be spoiled. I'm about to spoil it all to hell. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. Okay, time to spoil. Like I said, it's great to just be back in this world because honestly, I forgot about most of it. Like, it's been hell. I don't even know when the first season ended. It's been so damn long that I be forgetting. But it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back with these with the I call them I can't call them the big 3, but I don't know, the cool 3. I'm calling them the cool 3 because they're just cool, 3 cool kids. It's nice to be back with them. 4 if you count Tanjiro's sister. But yeah, it's good to be back with them and watch them be goofy and watch them just be friends, like, be cool to each other. It's been forever, like I said. So it's great to have all 3 of them back. It's the humor definitely it hits you right away, it's definitely funny right off the bat. We're watching them chase the train and watching. I cannot remember. Listen, one thing you gotta know about me is when it comes to anime, I am terrible at remembering characters' names. I don't know if I mentioned that on the podcast before, but I'm absolutely terrible at it. I can't even remember my favorite character in Naruto. It's the guy who uses the shadows, who like seems bored with everything. I can't remember his damn name. But that's my favorite character. I need to get his pop figure, but last time I seen that shit, it was kind of expensive. But that ain't got shit to do with what I'm talking about. But yeah, what I'm saying is, so when I start mentioning people in here, I'm probably just gonna say a characteristic that you're gonna know. Oh, okay, I know who you're talking about. If you watch the show, you don't watch the show, then you're not gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if you know, you know, you know. But like I was saying, it's funny to see the guy who wears the boar's head on his head. It's funny to see him reacting to a train, because I'm pretty sure, now that I've watched it a few times, I'm pretty sure, because at first I thought this on the first watch, but I'm like, nah, maybe I'm tripping. I'm pretty sure he thought that train was a demon, and like just the train itself was a demon, and he was ready to fight the train the moment they got on it. But it was funny watching him just experience what it's like to be in a train, because that's probably the most advanced piece of technology he's ever seen in his entire life. So I mean, it makes sense he was flipping out. But yeah, it was good to see them. It was good to see them. Rengoku, the flame guy, he was awesome from the beginning to the end of the movie. He was a phenomenal, dope character. If all of the high level, I forgot what they call them, like Hiroshimas, I forgot what they're called, but the high level demon slayers, if they're half as good as him, whoo, they're gonna be some shit. Cause he was some shit. But he was dope. He was great. The character was great. The voice acting was phenomenal. All of that shit. Like, I got no complaints I don't really have any complaints on this, except for one, which we'll get into in a moment. Which honestly, I don't even know if it's that big of a complaint, but yeah, I do. I don't know. It was really dope. All the characters in it was dope. I guess I can get to the complaint now, because now I'm moving along in the plot. Turns out the train was being hosted by a demon, and I guess like this train just goes about what it does. It just does what a train does in real life, transport people. But like every now and then people go missing. But the train was still in business for some reason. I don't know. Because he even says when Rengoku asked Tanjiro, he's like, "What y'all doing?" He's like, we got the mission that people have been going missing from this train, so they sent us to come back you up." And he was like, "All right, cool. Like, yeah, just let this train keep going, and people have been going missing." But whatever. I don't know how the demon slayers operate. I ain't a demon slayer. I can't tell them how to operate in their demon hunting business. But so it goes, the movie goes, and you meet the characters, and then like some really suspicious ass ticket collector, I guess he's the conductor, I guess, but I'm like, why would the conductor be going through and checking tickets? Like, the pilot don't go through and talk to the people on the plane when he's flying. So like, I don't know, bro. It seems irresponsible. But anyway, it turns out the conductor was working for he's working for the demon anyway. There is a cool demon that pops up like just out of nowhere, but I don't know. I don't know what he was doing there. If there was some demon that was on here already planning to do what he do to these people, then why did this other demon show up? Well, he got put the fuck down real quick. Rengoku bust out his sword, did some dope ass shit, put him down super quick. It turns out the conductor was working for the big demon. And it's such a, when I really think about it, bro, it's such a convoluted plot that I'm like, wow, this is a really complicated plan, bro. To do whatever. I don't even know what his actual mission was. I guess to get everybody to sleep so he can eat them. I guess. But you don't even need to be asleep for him to eat you. So I don't know why he wanted to put people to sleep. I don't know what they had to do. And it could be something I missed. If there was something I missed, then please comment and let me know. Hey, bro, he was putting them to sleep so he can do this. I guess. I don't know. I don't really remember. I think it had something to do with finding I don't know, the soul or something, because there was like, he had 4 little kids working for him. He was like going their dreams, and I don't know, his plan, he put him to sleep, but he put him to sleep by having the train conductor go around and stamp people's tickets, which happens on trains all the time. So there's nothing too weird about that. He stamps the ticket, verifies everybody's shit. And but apparently whoever ticket he stamps starts falling asleep, because the demon used his blood to print the ink on the tickets. So once your ticket is stamped, you get hit with the curse and you fall asleep. I don't know, bro. It seems kind of dumb to me. It seems like a whole lot of going out of the way just to put people to sleep, when you could just say the word sleep and people fall asleep. I don't know. You could just shoot sleep at people. So it seems like you went through a lot to get people to go to sleep. But who am I judging, bro? Do your thing. Do however your powers work. You do it your way. I ain't here to judge nobody. But eventually he puts everybody to sleep on the train, even our heroes, even the demon slayers. And you see Chanjiro's dream, and to me it's super heartbreaking, bro. Because the demon's thing is, I make you see what you want. I give you the best possible scenario in your dream, so you're super happy and you want to stay, because he needs the people to stay in their dreams. I don't know why. I think it's because he ass and he can't fight. So he's like, I don't want niggas trying to come at me, because I can't really fight, so I gotta put him to sleep. But anyway, you see Tanjiro's dream. His family's all back. Everybody except his dad. But I guess they just sent him back to the moment before, the moment before plot happened. But yeah, I think it's like right before that, so that makes sense that his dad wouldn't be there. But yeah, his family's all back and they're all super happy and they're all happy to see you. But what makes it heartbreaking to me is that, one, his whole family's back, and that's like all he ever wanted, but that's like the one thing that nothing he can do could ever bring them back. So that's heartbreaking. The reason why it's heartbreaking to me is because he knows something's up. He immediately feels like, man, something's weird, something's off. Something's not right here. I don't know what's going on, but it's not right. But then he sees his family and he's just like, man, look, this ain't right, but I got my family back, man. Fuck all that other shit I was talking about. Like, it's heartbreaking because because Tanjiro's, at most, he's a teenager. It's not like he's some grown ass man. At most, he's a teenager. And it's like, man, I get all my brothers and sisters back and my mom. Like, this is the best. Why would I want anything other than this? It sucks. It really sucks. The other two, his friends, he shows their dreams. They're really goofy and silly, and I love the moments. And it shows when Goku's dream, and his is he's a really inspirational character. It's obvious that that's what they were going for, because like everything he does and says is super inspirational. If it's not silly as hell, it's inspirational. But it shows his dream is like, his dad used to be that, but now his dad gave up on it. Maybe it had something to do with his mom's death. I'm not sure. But his dad used to be that, but his dad gave up on being a man, and now his dad's just a piece of shit. And he know his kids, he expects his kids to be pieces of shit too. So in a dream, he's in Goku's dream, he's like, what the hell am I doing back here? Because I think he can sense that something's off too. But it's like, oh yeah, I'm here to tell my dad that I got promoted, and his dad's like, bro, I don't give a fuck about your promotion. You still ain't shit, and you ain't gonna ever be shit. And then his little brother comes out, and he's like, hey, did dad like the announcement? Did he like your news? He's like, excuse me. He's like, I'm gonna be on, which I love this scene. He, instead of going, yeah, dad was great, everything's happy, be happy, little brother. He was like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Nah, dad wasn't happy to hear it. Dad a piece of shit, bro. And don't live your life trying to please him or make him happy, because it's not gonna work. Do you. Do not base what you become off of what he wants or trying to make him happy, because that man ain't gonna never be happy again. Fuck him. Live your own life. Follow your own journey. And that's kind of how his dream goes. But then you see that these kids or somehow in these dream worlds too, and they're looking for something, whatever it is. I can't remember quite what it is, but basically like the heart of this dream on some Kingdom Hearts shit. They're looking for like the heart of this dream, and if they destroy that, then that'll be mission accomplished according to the main demon. And then like if we do that, he'll let us sleep and have nice dreams. Because I guess all they want is to have nice dreams. Maybe because their reality sucks that they just want to dream forever. Just my real life sucks, so can you just put me in a dream for the rest of my life? That's what it seems to be the motivation, but I could be wrong. So you see they're in the dreams. You go back to Tanjiro's and he's still dreaming, and it's to me, it's just, I mean, he's super happy, but you know what happens to these people, and you know it absolutely sucks, bro. But he's still happy. His brothers and sisters, they're all helping make dinner, and his mom's there, and everything's just perfect. But then you go back to, I think you go back to Rengoku's dream, and one of the little kids is running around his dream trying to find his heart, the heart of his dream, or his soul, or whatever it is. And he somehow catches her. Like this, I didn't fully understand. I'm not gonna lie to you. He somehow catches her, and he like stops her from destroying the thing. I'm not sure what happens if that thing gets destroyed, but he stops her and he's like choking her. But when it cuts to the real world, he's sleepwalking. Well, he's still asleep, but he's choking her in real life. She's being choked to death. I mean, it's like he's got the willpower to move, and even while he's dead asleep. So I guess you get to see his level of strength, like what level he's really at. But it falls on Tanjiro to really figure out what the hell's going on here, because eventually he realizes this ain't right, bro. Like something's off. He starts feeling a bit different, and like something's weird, bro. Like I don't know what it is, but this ain't how things are supposed to be. And then eventually, I'm not sure how, but eventually something in him flips, and he sees his reflection, and he's going to get some water for his family. And in the lake or whatever, he sees the reflection of himself saying, "Hey, bro, this is a dream. You got to wake the fuck up. Shit's like going awry, bro. You got to get up now." And that kind of starts him on this path of trying to figure out how the hell to wake up. And he's like, there must be something I can destroy that'll wake me up. There's got to be something I got to get to, something I got to find, or something I got to do that'll just snap me out of this. But eventually, and it's dark, but I can't lie, it's good writing. Eventually, he realizes, hey, if I kill myself, or if I die, then that'll be a shock to my system that'll wake me up. But he's not sure. He's like, but this also could just kill me straight up. This could be me committing suicide. So you just don't know. I mean, it's like I don't know what this place is I'm in. I don't know what happens to this place if I leave. I don't know if I'm allowed to leave. I don't know. Like I don't know the rules. But I feel like if I can wake myself up, then I'll be good. And what can wake you up quicker than dying, in your dream? So he does it. Slits his own throat, bro. And bam, it works. It wakes him up. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm selling. Here's what sends him on this whole, after he gets the vision of him in the river telling him it's a dream. His sister is actually out in the real world. Nezuko is out just walking around the train. She's like, well, not walking around the train, but she's looking around. She's like, the hell going on, bro? Why everybody sleeping? Why everybody got ropes and stuff tied around them? So she actually headbutts Tanjiro, and she headbutts him so hard that she starts bleeding. And I guess he could smell it, because I don't know, Tanjiro has a really super sense of smell. Not really sure why, but he could smell it, and he knows, oh shit, my sister's in trouble. So now he's like, yeah, I must be in some kind of dream world. I got to get out of here. That's what really kind of sends him over the edge. And oh no, I got to get out of here. And that's when he decides to, off himself. And it works. He wakes up, and he's looking at his sister, and she's happy to see him, and they're happy to see each other. And he's like, look, got to get these ropes off us. She ends up burning the ropes because she can do something with blood and fire. Once again, don't fully understand that, but that was established in the last season. She do something with blood and fire. I'm not sure what it is. But she he's like, look, something's going on. There's a demon putting people to sleep. Yada yada yada. He kind of like figures it all out, bro. Like right then and there, he kind of figures it all out while everybody's sleep. He's like, oh man, they're using the tickets, putting people to sleep. There must be a demon around here somewhere. I gotta go do the thing. He's like, hey, tell his sister, hey, look, untie all the demon slayers, and you know, just watch over the people, make sure they don't get hurt. And so he heads up to fight the dude. And keep in mind, even Rengoku still ain't broke out of his dream state yet. But Tanjiro did. That's pretty damn hard. And it's hardcore the way he did it. Killing yourself, man, that's insane. So he runs into the big demon that's been doing this whole time. And the demon's all like, hey, bro, you still supposed to be asleep. Why you bullshitting me? Come on now, bro. Like, I don't want to fight. But of course, he's like, fuck you. You don't want to fight, man. Like, well, what's the plan? The bad guy tells him, I think he tells him his plan. Look, I honestly fully don't understand. I mean, he wanted to eat the people on the train. I don't know why he had to go through all this just to eat the people. But whatever, bro. So they start fighting. This is a pretty fucked up scene, but pretty damn dope too. Fucked up as in the context, not fucked up as in it looks bad. It looked dope as hell. The whole movie looked chef kiss beautiful. But they're fighting, and your worst dreams are realized when you realize that this guy can't fight. He's a shit villain because he keeps putting Tanjiro to sleep. But just by saying sleep, he got this fucked up hand that has a mouth on the outside. But I guess a mouth on any side of your hand would be fucked up. But he has a mouth on it. And he keeps putting him to sleep. And Tanjiro keeps killing himself in a dream to wake himself up. So it's pretty damn fucked up. You have to keep offing yourself. But eventually you realize that, can this dude do nothing but put himself to sleep? That's kind of, I mean, he can't do nothing but put people to sleep. That's his only move. That's his move. That's pretty ass, bro. But then eventually Tanjiro gets to him and he offset it. But then you realize that, hey, this is just some, of course he got a second form. Hey, that body you killed, that wasn't my real body. My real body is like wrapped around the entire train. And I'm just like, I'm the train now. So now you want to kill me, you got to kill these passengers because they in the train and I am the train. It's like, yeah, you just got more ass, bro. Like you just getting ass. Like, where's your offensive capabilities at, man? Like, for real. So, by this point, I don't remember how. I think Nezuko wakes everybody up. Like, I don't remember how exactly, but everybody at this point, the rest of the Demon Slayers are up, and I think the one with the boar's head, he's up on the roof of the train, and he's like, "Hey, well," because he thought the train was a demon this whole time. So with him, this is just par for the course. This is how I drew it up, man. Time for me to do what I do. Nezuko and the lightning guy, I can't remember his name, the scaredy cat. You know, he loved Nezuko, so he gonna do whatever to protect her. So he doing his thing, he protecting her, they protecting that people on that car. When Goku wakes up, he's on top of the train. He's like, hey, no, he's not on top of the train. He's on the train fucking shit up. That's when Tanjiro is like, okay, we got to figure out what is this guy has to have some kind of like body that we can, because Rengoku tells him like early in the movie, he's like, look, I don't care what a demon looks like, bro. If it's got a head, you can cut it off. That's all you need to do. Cut the head off, keep it moving. So he's like, man, this demon's got to have a body and his body's got to have a head. So all we need to do is find that. So they're looking for it. And then I guess Rengoku catches up to them and he's like, look. Oh, no. He's in the train. The dude with the boar head's on top of the train. Rengoku runs into Tanjiro and he's like, look, bro, I'm going to watch the last 5 cars. I'm going to let your sister and her boyfriend watch, like, they can watch like 2 cars by themselves. And then I'm going to let you and Boarhead, y'all got to find the dude. Y'all got to find the demon and put him down. Get his head cut off and so we can get the fuck up out of here. And that's what happens. Rengoku looks really cool for a long amount of time. There's a dope-ass scene with Tanjiro and Boarhead where they're working together to figure this shit out. Eventually, they find where the body is, and they're like, they find where the body is, and they see the conductor, and they're like, "Hey, bro, like, what the fuck? Well, you was in on all this bullshit." Apparently, I don't know, something happened. He made the conductor do it. I don't really know. I mean, I think the conductor was looking for happy dreams too, but whatever. The conductor ends up stabbing Tanjiro like with a regular knife. Whatever. Ends up stabbing him with a regular knife. So Tanjiro's hurt. But it's like, look, we got to keep the mission. Whatchamacallit, Borehead was about to off the dude. And he's like, no. Rengoku said nobody on this train is supposed to die, bro. Like, if anybody on this train dies, we lose. And we can't afford to lose. So Tanjiro was like, all right, I got you. Nobody dies. And so that's what he was telling Boy. He's like, no. We can't kill anybody, bro. It's not his fault. The demon's making them do it. So they find a demon. They go through all this to find him. Well, not to find him because they knew where it was. To get through to where his body is. They get through, and then he's got like another form that's even weirder and creepier. They get through that too. Keep in mind, I'm shortening it. I'm cutting the movie shorter than what it really is. But all this looks dope. I want to. Everything I'm saying looks amazing. The fights look dope. All these characters using their powers, it looks amazing. It really brings you back to the world of, yeah, this is why I fuck with Demon Slayer, because of this shit. But they find him. He's got a different form. He keeps putting Tanjiro to sleep because now he's got eyes everywhere. And I guess the eyes is what make you go to sleep. But he was putting him to sleep with the hand earlier. So I don't know. But Tanjiro was like, fuck, I keep falling asleep, bro. I can't, like, I don't know what to do. Then the Borehead, I guess since it's not his actual eyes on the mask, he's allowed to survive it because the hypnotizing thing that puts you asleep can't see his actual real eyes, so the sleep don't work on him. But there was a time, and this was dope as fuck. Tanjiro had gotten put to sleep so many times, and he killed himself so many times that he was losing a grip on what was real and what wasn't. So there was a time when he was in the real world and he wasn't asleep, where he was about to slit his own throat. And then Borehead had to come through and stop. He said, bro, you tripping. This is the real world. You kill yourself here, you dead. He's like, don't you falling for that shit, bro. Just follow me. Don't think, just follow me. And they get him in there, and they end up off in Tanjiro does a really clean, when I say clean, I mean clean, almost as clean as the original killer, that Spider Girl in season 1. Not quite that clean, but almost that clean. He chops off the demon's head, and that's the end. The train does some crazy ass shit and goes off the tracks, but everybody survives, which is the most important thing here, because Rengoku was Rengoku. He ain't let nobody get hurt. Good enough for me. But yeah. So, and then when that's all over, I like level 2 or level 3. I don't remember his number, but one of the top demons. One of the top demons shows up. Like one of the hardest demons out there shows up. Why? I don't know. But he shows up, and him and Rengoku have a dope ass fight. Like, it's a really dope ass fight, because honestly, the cool 3, they ain't ready for this level of demon, bro. Like, he done mopped the floor with all 3 of them niggas. So him and Rengoku have a dope ass fight, and it kind of stalemates with the demon has his whole hand, his whole arm inside the body of Rengoku, and then Rengoku has got like his sword stabbed into the demon. And I think Rengoku was just trying to buy time till the sun came up. He's like, when the sun came up, you die anyway. Whether I die or not, you die. The demon was trying to attack, get him up off him, get Rengoku up off him, but he managed to block the attack. And he's like, damn, how the fuck are you blocking? I got a whole arm in you, bro. Like, you should be like dead. You just human. But it was a dope ass scene. You get some emotional shit going. Eventually, the demon like rips his own arms off. Like he separates himself from his hands so he can get free of Rengoku's grasp, and he runs off. And then you get some more emotional shit. And like Tanjiro sees this shit, and he's like, no, we can't let that motherfucker get away. We gotta stop him. And he just like, he uses, I'm not fully sure I understand it, but he uses like a breathing technique to throw his sword at the fucking demon while the demon's running through the forest. It was dope as hell. And he hits him too, but the demon still gets away. And there's another emotional scene. There's a dope ass monologue from Tanjiro talking about, you know, fuck demons. We always gotta fight y'all in y'all element. Y'all don't ever want to square up with us in Oz. Y'all some bitches. Fuck y'all niggas. Basically. But he was like, you know what? Rengoku still won. You may have got away, but he ain't lose because Rengoku's plan, like I said, was make sure nobody on this train dies. And that's exactly what they did. So it was hard. It was hard to watch. Fantastic voice acting in this mug. I know I didn't credit that enough. Fantastic voice acting, because he gets his monologue, Tanjiro gets his, and then he goes over to Rengoku, then Rengoku says some more shit, and it's basically like, look, don't, you know, tell my brother, live your life, be the best you want to be. Don't worry about so much about anybody else's path. And then he says some more inspirational stuff to the group, to the kids, and I mean, it was clear he was gonna die at this point. Then Tanjiro says what he has to say, and then he's just like, Tanjiro's just like, he's just, at this point he's just crying. Like, he's like, I can't believe you died, please don't go, we still need you, yada yada yada. And then Boarhead comes over and he gives his own little emotional speech, and like everybody's just doing their thing voice acting wise, because Boarhead's trying to act like he's not crying and act like he's not hurt and act like he's too tough for any emotions, but like they all just made, at the beginning they all just made Rengoku they big homie. So they're all losing their big homie at the same time, and he's telling Tanjiro, he's like, stop crying, bro. Like, crying ain't gonna fix this. We need to get stronger so we can beat demons like this, so shit like this don't happen. And it was a really sad speech, but I mean, it was dope. All of it was dope. It kind of ends there. I'm trying to think, was there anything after? I don't believe so. I'm trying to think of. I think I did. I did a spoiler warning, right? It's too late now if I did. I did spoiler warning. Rengoku does die, and then they use those birds to get the message to all the other high level demon slayers, and let them all know that, yeah, we just lost a comrade. So that's super sad to watch. But cause all of them had to have the same response. Like, damn, they was able to take out Rengoku. Them motherfuckers must be strong. I mean, I don't know the power scale of who's the strongest and who's the weakest out of the top level ones, because there's only a specific number of top level ones. There's not like a unlimited amount. There's like 9, I want to say. It might be less than that. I'm not exactly sure how many there are, but there's a set number. So yeah, you see all of them reacting to the news, and it's just really sad. And the movie, I think it ends after that. There may be 1 or 2 things I missed, but for the most part, that's the end. It was phenomenal, bro. It was dope. It sucks because I have no idea when we're getting another Demon Slayer or anything, bro. But this shit was amazing, and I highly recommend it, bro. If you are a Demon Souls person, you absolutely 100% have to watch this, bro. You absolutely have to watch this. Yeah, but I think that's it. I think I went on long enough talking about this movie, but I did love it. I loved it. It was dope. Voice acting, animation. It looked impressive. The humor was right there when it needed to be. All the characters looked cool and got to do a cool thing. Yeah, it was dope. So yeah, I think that'll wrap it up. I think that's it for Demon Slayer talk. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna talk about I almost said Without Mercy. You know what's crazy? No. I was gonna say, because the star of this movie is Without Remorse. The star of this movie is Michael B. Jordan. But he was also in a movie called Without Mercy, but I think it was just called Mercy. It wasn't called Without Mercy. It was called Mercy. Well, we're not finna talk about that. I don't know why I go on tangents like that. I don't know why I do that. I just branch off and start talking about something totally unrelated. But like I said, we're finna go on break right quick, and then we come back. We're gonna spoil Without Remorse. Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. All right, y'all. I'll be right back. And we are back. Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, starring Michael B. Jordan. Now, just want to say off the top of my back, I definitely enjoyed this movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a dope movie. It was great. There's nothing too mind-blowing here. I mean, if you know Tom Clancy and how Tom Clancy stuff goes, you know, I mean, you just know. There's nothing too. The only thing that was like kind of a surprise or kind of like a twist or something was the end, which I'm not gonna say it right now. I'm gonna go through the movie as I normally do. But spoiler warnings for Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go ahead and pause the podcast or watch. Listen to me along with the movie, because I give that DVD commentaries type details when I'm going through the stuff I go through. So you know what I'm saying, if you need both, then need both, because I got both. So I'm just playing. Go watch the movie first. Do not listen to me while you watch the movie, because I'm just gonna be a distraction and I'm not gonna be very helpful either. But yeah, it starts dope. It starts dope with an action sequence, but more importantly, it starts off with some stealth kills. And I loves my stealth. Which honestly, the first thing you see is a couple soldiers, and they're like by this pool of water, I guess. I don't know, it looks like maybe it was a pool. I don't know what it was. But anyway, one soldier goes in to wash his face with the water, maybe drink some, and he gets yanked in. And then another soldier turns around and goes, "What the fuck was that?" And then he gets shot. And it's like, oh shit. So you seen it in a trailer. This thing was definitely in a trailer. So yeah, but in the trailer it makes it look like it was just Michael B. Jordan's character that did it. But you see like 8 niggas come out of the pool of water. So it had to be very deep, because you couldn't see like 8 people in there. So they come up out the pool, and also, and I'll nitpick on things because you know me, I love to nitpick. But also, the first guy got yanked into the water. The second guy got shot from underneath the water. So you don't even see who shoots the second guy. You just see him get shot. And I thought to myself, why didn't they just shoot the first dude? They could have just shot both of them super quick. What was the point of yanking that guy in? Plus, that guy was leaning into the water, so he would have been really easy to shoot. But who am I to tell super stealthy soldiers how to be super stealthy soldiers? Excuse me. But so they go through this mission. They're apparently here to secure a hostage, and they go through and they're offing people, and it looks pretty dope. You get to see Michael B. Jordan be a badass, which is fine with me. They get to the hostage. They realize, at least Michael, I don't remember. His character's name is like John, but I feel like if I start saying John, did I get my spoiler warning for this? I think I did. If I didn't, spoiler warning. But his character's name is John, but I feel like if I start saying John, you'll be like, who the fuck are you talking about, bro? So I'm gonna just say Michael B. Jordan's character. I'm gonna have to, bro, just so you know what I'm talking about. He finds out that these aren't like terrorists or anything; they're Russian military. And he's like, why you didn't tell us this was Russian military, bro? You told us these was like some kind of terrorists from somewhere. I don't remember where, but these are supposed to be just terrorists, not military. And the character who, probably my least favorite character in the entire movie, I almost said show, in the entire movie, is a character named Ritter. And he works for the CIA. I can't quite remember where I know this dude from, but I know this actor from somewhere. I didn't look it up because it's not that important to what I'm going to talk to y'all about. But yeah, he's like, bro, why you didn't tell us that these were like these were like Russian military, bro? We thought these was just regular old terrorists. Like, we would have went about the mission differently. I don't know how, but I don't know how that changes things. But look, I don't know politics, and I don't know military, and yada yada yada. I don't know a lot of shit. But yeah, he this Ritter guy, he's some high standing CIA something. Like, he's got a lot of pull, a lot of power. He's high ranking in the CIA. He's just an asshole throughout the entire movie. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why. It seems like, because if you don't know Tom Clancy, there's usually governmental cover-ups and the government screwing up and the government not being who they say they are in Tom Clancy stuff. That's usually going on somewhere. And it's just was like, I don't get why he was an asshole. It's like the movie is saying, here's the bad guy. I mean, not the bad guy necessarily, but here's the antagonist to our protagonist right here. Here's the guy. Because he's such an asshole. Even when they're flying away from the mission, once the mission's a success, because there's a part where they lose, not they lose, but one of the members of the unit gets separated, and she's like Michael B. Jordan's commanding officer. So he's like, hey, we got one down, we need the help. And the asshole, I'm just calling him the asshole. The asshole's like, nah, man, the mission is to get the hostage out of her. That's mission priority number one. We can't worry about nothing else. So Michael B. Jordan is like, man, I'm just calling Michael B's character is like, man, you got me fucked up. I'm saving my commanding officer. So he goes down there and he saves her, and you get to see him being a badass more. There's a pretty cool fight scene, and like from what I could tell, there wasn't a whole lot of cuts, but he takes out two guards, stabs a couple of them, shoots a couple of them. It was pretty good. It was a pretty cool fight scene. But anyway, he saves her, and the mission is a success. They get back to the chopper and they're flying off, and he, Michael B, he's talking to the asshole, and it's like, bro, why you didn't tell us that these was Russian military, bro? Like, I lost one of my soldiers, and the asshole looks at him and is like, hey, that's part of the job, sweetheart. It's like, what? And I guess he was getting, not revenge, but I guess he was snipping at him because earlier in the movie, and I forgot to talk about this because it wasn't that important, but I'm thinking about it now. Early in the movie when he's giving them the mission briefing, the commanding officer is like, hey, how many terrorists are there? I'm doing quotes. How many terrorists are there? And he's like, we don't have that information. And Michael B's character is like, oh, that's a good talk. And everybody started kind of, like, not laughing, but like kind of giggling, I guess. And the asshole's like, oh, so I guess you a comedian, huh? And then, I don't know, it was a funny scene. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a funny scene because the other soldiers in the troop, they chime in and they kind of make fun of the CIA guy. So I guess that was his way of getting back at him, going, ha, look, I can be a jokester too. But it's like, nah, bro, this ain't the time for that. We lost people. Because Michael B's character's like, bro, I lost one of my men. This ain't like, why didn't you fully brief us, bro? And I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, I mean, I get, like, in real life, sometimes soldiers go on missions and they're only told what they need to be told. But what bothered me here is just like, bro, now you cracking jokes and being funny and we lost somebody. Like, this ain't the time to joke. You, like, show some remorse. And I just realized the movie's called Without Remorse when I said that line. I didn't mean that joke like that. But yeah, that's a running thing here, bro. Throughout the entire movie, this character is just straight up an asshole. Like, the whole movie. And you never quite know why. Like, even if he's the bad guy, that's cool. I still don't get why you're such an asshole to people that didn't do shit to you. But anyway, not the point. Time goes on. You get to see Michael B's wife, played by Lauren London. You get to see she's pregnant. They got a kid on the way. He's at some kind of party where, stuff's happening. It's a party. But you get to see them living their normal lives. You get to see a couple of other soldiers that's in Michael B's group, and they're living their lives as well. They cut to one of them, and he's just like feeding his son, and his wife's like, "Hey, can you take the trash out?" And he goes to take the trash out, and while he's taking the trash out, he gets ran over by a van, like just straight up, boom, runs him over. And I'm thinking to myself, these like super secret soldiers, right? You ain't see a car coming or hear a car coming or anything like that, like. The car just came out of nowhere and got you, bro. Like, I don't know about that. That seems super. I feel like, because I feel like this is also the type of guy I keep a gun on me. So I figured if he just saw or heard that van coming, he'd have dumped at that bitch. But I mean, he gets ran over. He's dead. You don't see him again in the movie. They cut to another guy. They cut back to Michael B's character, and Yeah, he trying to get some, but the wife's like, look, I'm pregnant as hell and I'm tired as hell. You ain't getting none tonight, bro. He's like, fair enough, I got you. So he goes downstairs, and this is another weird thing. I told you I'm a nitpick where I can because I like to nitpick. But she's like, don't be downstairs listening to music all night. And he's like, okay, I got you. He goes downstairs and he listens to music with his headphones on. And I'm like, bro, you can't just listen to music at a volume to where it doesn't disturb your wife. You're way downstairs, bro. Like, listening to music with your headphones. What if your pregnant wife needs you? You don't be able to hear shit because you got these damn headphones on. That's a weird thing to me. Is why the headphones? I thought that was weird because I'm like, because you know something bad's finna happen. Because you just seen one soldier get taken out, and then they cut to another soldier who's in the car and he's arguing with his gal. His girl's like, he's like, I'm on my way. Traffic's all shitty. And she's all like, where are you coming from? He's like, I was hanging out with the boys. And then right when she's like, oh, you always hanging out with your boys. Some people in a van in front of him get out and just unload on him and kill him real quick. And that was like nothing he could do there. Like, normally I like to nitpick stuff, but like, I mean, what could he have done now? They hop out the van and just shoot right away. No conversation to be had. Yeah, you see him, he gets shot up, and then it cuts back to Michael B's character, and he's in not the basement, but I just want to say downstairs. Their bedroom is obviously upstairs. He's downstairs, maybe in the living room, listening to music. But yeah, it just bothers me that he's getting headphones on, because it's like, well, bro, he ain't know people was gonna come to his house and attack him. That's true, but you got a pregnant wife upstairs, bro. What if she's in trouble? You got these damn headphones on, you can't hear shit. So that bothered me. But anyway, they burst into the home, knocked the power. Well, I think it was already dark. I think they knocked the power out, and that's how he knows something is up. But by the time he can do anything, they're already upstairs. And I believe it looks like there's two bodies in the bed, so they just shoot the bed up thinking they killed him, when really they only shot his wife. And which, I mean, she dies, but you already knew that. That's kind of the thing that the trailers was promoting. But she dies. He's going through the house all stealthy, and he's taking them out. He's getting into fights with everybody. He's getting it done. There's a scene where after they shoot the wife, one guy just says, I guess in Russian, he's like, I'm ready. And then his partner shoots and kills him. And I'm like, it didn't make any sense to me until I watched the movie a second time. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Basically, and it'll be, I don't want to forget to tell you later, so I'm gonna tell you now because I can't remember exactly at what point it became a thing in the movie. But the people in charge of this whole thing, basically they sent Michael B's group to kill some Russian military, and then they sent some seemingly Russian military to kill all of the people that was in that group, so Russia can be mad at America and America can be mad at Russia. I'll explain that later. Excuse me. I'll explain why that's important later. But basically that's what it is. So he shot the soldier, and at first it didn't make any sense to me, but I was like, oh, there needs to be a dead Russian here. So people can say, yep, that was a Russian. The Russians did it, so there wouldn't be any confusion. So I get, if like I said, at first that didn't make sense to me, but again, I will say this, during the invasion, they had some really dope camera work. There was like these really low angles, because there was a part towards the end where he's coming downstairs and he's in a gunfight with a guy, and they both shoot each other. Michael B. They both shoot each other, and they just looking at each other because they both land on the ground and they're both shot. So there's like this really low camera angles, and they weren't like really wide so you can see the whole thing, but you really got in on the killer's face, and you really got in on Michael B's face, and it was just really dopely shot. Cause I just like how low they kept it. I guess it's just me talking about movie shit. That's not really any anything to do with the rest of the movie, in the quality of the movie. That's just, I like the shot. Oh, okay. But after that, he ends up in a hospital. One of the guys, the last dude that he shot, got away. He ends up in the hospital, which I'm not sure how, because he got shot and he had like hella bullet wounds in him, and it's not like nobody called the police, and all these people were using silencers, so it's not like his next door neighbors heard that and called the police. You didn't hear any sirens or anything. But the next scene is he's in the hospital getting operated on. That's fine. He goes through his physical therapy and everything. His commanding officer, the lady whose name I cannot remember. I think her last name was Greer, but I can't remember. Meanwhile, she's meeting with the secretary. No, I don't know. She's meeting with some high up dude. He's super important. I think he's in the CIA too. But she's meeting with some super high up dude, and he's basically called her. I mean, well, he's basically come to see her because she. They want to know if they think Michael B's character is like mentally stable to be like out in the real world. And she's like, man, that dude. I think you see this part in the trailer too. She's like, man, ain't nobody as skilled as that dude is. He's the best at what he do, and he gonna get it done. But I think that scene was just meant to introduce these characters to each other so we can see that they know each other, because in the next scene they're also together again. The asshole is briefing the big boss man, and he's like, he's telling them all the shit that happened. He's like, oh, we found out who did the hit on our soldiers. It was some Russians. They're not connected to the Russian government at all. They were some freelancers. It was because it was payback for what we did to them. But we closing the case. Is eye for an eye. So we're not investigating it anymore. And that's when what did I call her? The commanding officer. She was in on the meeting too. But she was like, she looks at the dickhead, well, the asshole. I'm sorry, the asshole. And she's like, bro, like, are you serious? Like, you're not gonna investigate this stuff? We being wiped out, and y'all just gonna like, what the fuck? And so that scene goes, and then when she realizes they're not gonna help, she somehow gets a file. I don't remember. She gets a file, and she sneaks it to Michael B. And he's like, here are the people. Here's the files on the people you killed. He's like, but it was 4 people. One of them got away. Where's the 4th person? And she was like, man, they not worried about it. They said they're not gonna search for him. He good. So Michael B is like, oh no, I'm gonna find that nigga then. So the next scene, Michael B goes home, and his house is all fucked up, of course, because I guess he's done with his physical therapy now. I mean, you see him like he doing some arm presses, and he's swimming fine. So they show he's healthy enough to like be out in the world again. He goes home, and of course it's hard on him. He has another emotional scene because this is his first time being back there since his wife and kid died. But he does something that I didn't get until my second watch. But he gets some liquor and he pours it all on him, and then he puts some clothes in a tub and he pisses on him. I didn't catch the pissing. I mean, I got the alcohol part, but I didn't get the pissing part. And I was like, because I guess I missed that my first watch too. I'm like, what is he pissing on, bro? Because he puts the clothes in the tub and he starts pissing on. I'm like, what is he pissing on? But then my second watch, I realized, oh yeah, because in the next scene he's pretending to be drunk, so he can go up and talk to these guards, and they gonna think he's an alcoholic or a wino or whatever. And if you smell like piss, they really gonna think you some kind of homeless bum. So they're like, oh man, you stink, get back, blah blah blah, get back. But this is all a ruse, so Michael B can see who's coming out the house because he's tracking one of the guys. And so eventually he sees who he sees. He does this really cool scene where he's walking off like he's a drunk bum, and then he straightens up and he gets a straight face. And I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool. He follows the guy. They're going to the airport. He follows the guy to the airport, interrupts him before he gets there. Now, I will say this part didn't make any sense to me. But one, he somehow ended up in front of the guy he was trailing. I don't know. But two, as I could say, before the scene where he pretended he was a hobo and he was drunk, he poured liquor all over himself so he could smell like liquor, of course. And then he pissed on his own clothes and then put them on so he can have a strong stench. As you see in the trailer, this is the part you see in the trailer where he lights the car on fire and then he gets in the car to to interrogate the guy. And I'm like, you just covered yourself in alcohol, bro, and then got into a flaming car? I don't know about that. I mean, he doesn't have on the same. I mean, when he was doing a drunk bum thing, it looked like he had a hoodie with a jacket over it, and now he just looks like he has that hoodie that was underneath the jacket. But still, you poured liquor all over yourself, bro. Like, you should be super flammable right now. The shit kind of coasted over that. But whatever. He lights the car on fire like you seen in the trailer. He gets in there, he starts asking questions. The dude eventually gives him a name. And he gets out of the car. And it was funny to me. He's just like, I'm military, bro. Don't shoot me. I'm military. So they arrest him. And the next thing you see, he's in like a Russian jail. And so he remember that he's in a Russian jail. He talks to his commanding officer, and his commanding officer is like, man, you out here tripping, bro. Like, you really out here acting like a messy bitch. He's like, nah, I'm not no messy bitch. This is how I do it, bro. I've been doing this for years. This is how I get the answers I need, because them motherfuckers in the government ain't gonna help me. And they just gonna let this shit slide. So I gotta do it. And this is how I'm gonna do it. So eventually he tells her, he's like, look, your boss slipped you that information, right? With the paper she gave him a while back with the killers on it. I need you to give him a message. And she's like, all right, whatever. And, the message was basically, I know I got some super important information. If you want me to give you the information, you got to get me out of jail. And you got to get me out of jail right now, because I killed a bunch of Russians, and I'm in a Russian prison. So, like, you got to help me out. You got to do something. So, the next thing you know, he's in this cell, and they coming in there, and the guards coming in there, and they're just being regular. It's amazing to me how prison guards always get, in movies and TV shows and shit, they always get displayed as like pieces of shit. And even in jails in different countries, I guess it's the same way. The prison guards are just pieces of shit. I don't know why that is. But yeah, there's a jail scene where they're like, hey, we finna transport you. And he's like, transport me? Where? Don't worry about it, bro. Just come on. He's like, man, I ain't going nowhere unless you motherfuckers tell me where I'm going. So then they're like, all right. So then he I don't know. He's like, I guess he knows. Yeah, they finna come here and it's finna be a fight. So I got to get ready. He wraps like something around one of his hands. It was like a shirt or a bandana or something. He wraps around one of his hands. He takes his shirt off, puts it in the sink, and starts running the water. I'm not sure what that was for. Then he starts like splashing water on himself, I guess to make himself more slippery. I don't know. There's probably some combat reason he did that I just don't know of. But then it also, like, the sink starts overflowing, because like I said, he shoved his shirt into the sink. So the sink starts overflowing. There's water flowing all out the cell. Once again, I guess this has something to do with combat. These people come in and they fully riot geared armored, and he starts kicking their ass. And then he gets one of them in like a headlock, and he's like, hey, if y'all don't close that door, I'm gonna start snapping necks. And the guards just closed the door. Like, there was no more arguing after that. It was pretty funny how quickly they gave up. It was like, whoa, okay. And they closed the door. And then some more riot gear people start coming down the hallway. But right before they're about to storm, that's when, I don't know, the guy calls himself a marshal. They're American. And he's like, I'm a field marshal. I don't know what a field marshal is, so I don't know what branch of the government that is, or what branch of what do you call like the CIA and the FBI and stuff, like intelligence agencies? I don't know what branch of that. I don't know where he's from or who he works for. He just says, I'm Field Marshal Kevin, I think he said. It was like, oh, okay. And he was like, hey, I got a call for you. You might want to answer it. And he's like, bet. He takes the phone, and it's I think it's his commanding officer, and they're like, look, we finna get you out of there. You need to do this, and you need to do it now. So the next scene is that he's out of that bitch. He's in a car, and they're riding somewhere. And so I guess the plan worked. So next thing you do, he meets up with the big boss white guy, whose name is just eluding the shit out of me. I probably should have wrote it down. But he's not really super important to the story, so whatever. He's meeting with his commanding officer, the big boss white guy, and then the asshole. They're all sitting at this table. They're ready to do a mission briefing. They're all oh, and also the head of the CIA, who's a lady, and she was the one that said, "Look, this is a case closed. We're not doing it no more. We're not chasing this no more. It's eye for an eye. Yada yada yada." So they're all sitting at the same table and they're briefing them, and they're like, "Look, turns out these Russian motherfuckers is part of something bigger. So we need to take them down, and we're gonna send your commanding officer to do it." And he's like, "I bet I'm on the case too." Michael B's like, "I'm on the case too." And then his commanding officer's like, "Nah, he not fit for this. That dude, he tripping. He messed up in the head. I'm gonna do the mission without him." But Big Boss White guy is like, "Nah, I think he perfect for the mission." And so he gets sent on a mission. When the next scene, you see him on like an airplane hangar, and they're all suiting up and getting ready. And I guess it's a bunch of dudes. I don't know if these dudes were. I guess these one of the dudes from earlier that was in the beginning mission with him, because they're like, this might be a one-way mission for some of us. Some of us might not survive this. So if I'm going, but I don't know. They were talking to each other like they've known each other for a while. So I'm not sure. But he was all like, you know what I'm saying? If we die here, if some of us don't make it, I at least want to know, you know, I at least want y'all to know my real name. So they go around and one by one, they tell each other their real names. But I'm like, this is like a government operation. And I get certain missions are like Black Ops and Top Secret and you're only given the information you need to complete the mission. I get that. But at the same time, I'm like, you don't know the real names of the people you're on a mission with? That wouldn't be in the mission briefing? I mean, I get everybody's got code names, but still you would get like at least the first names, right? Like you should get like a dossier on everybody. You'll say, this is Bob Dylan, and he's been in the military. He's been in the armed forces, the Marines, and the Army, and he's been here for 22 years. And these are his things, like a list, like a short description of who they are and what they've done. You think they'd have that for everybody, but the fact that these people don't even know each other's real names, I was kind of dumb. I guess the scene was cool, but to me, it was just like, wait, how could they not know each other's names and they finna go on a... But anywho, I mean, even the commanding officer was like, hey, I think her name was Karen. And they was like, yeah, I don't even know the commanding officer's real name? I don't know, I thought that was kind of weird, but fine, the scene works, it's great. They go from there, they realize that they're going to be flying a commercial plane, like a regular buy a ticket to go visit my parents' plane. And they're like, wait, we doing commercial, bro? Like, we're not doing like a top secret, like military plane or nothing like that? Nah, you're doing a regular ass plane. But then they'd say, hey, to the asshole character, they're like, hey, bro, you not gonna be there? You not get on the plane with us? He's like, nah, I'll meet y'all there. So that looks suspicious. And like I said, it's like the movie wanted you to think he was the villain, but there was like, I guess they wanted you to, I don't know, bro. They put a lot of work into making you hate this character, and it's just like, I don't get why he's such an asshole. Because, and I'm gonna spoil it now, he turns out to like not be a villain in the end. He was actually on the same side as the protagonist, so I don't get why be an asshole the entire movie. I don't get it. But anywho, he I guess around this part, well, I will say this. The plane gets shot down by, it's supposed to be military, the Russian government, but that's a cover up for some other shit. The plane gets shot down, and but everybody survives. And once they get to their landing point, where it's their rendezvous point, Michael B just assumes it was the asshole. He set us up. This motherfucker he tried to kill us. So he gets to where they are, and he's like, you motherfucker, you try to set us up, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, bro, I didn't set you up. I'm trying to get the guy that killed your wife. Like, we've been trying to this whole time, bro, but it's been hard. Like, niggas is tripping. And it's like, wait, so we on the same side? Why have you been such a dickhead to me this whole time? Like, I don't get it. So that's when I think around that time you realize that's when they put the whole plan together. Like, they realize what's really going on. Apparently somebody in the American government is trying to provoke a war with somebody in the Russian government. Well, not somebody in the Russian government, but trying to provoke a war with Russia because, and honestly, as far as convoluted evil government plans go, this one kind of made sense. Not that I agree with it, but it makes sense. They were like, America doesn't have an enemy right now. So we so busy fighting ourselves that we can't be united as a country. So what we need to is find an enemy to unite us, so we can all work together to fight them. And nobody's been a bigger enemy to us than Russia during the Cold War, because he was the guy is like he's all like you know, what did he say? He said what got us through the World War II was economists, people getting the country together to build money to help us fight the war. Because if you know anything about any economies, is that wars are very profitable. They make a lot of money fighting wars. I'm not sure how, because wars are also very expensive, but I mean they're very profitable. So that's what basically he was saying. You don't get that information. I thought I'd get that information out the way because before I forget. But you don't get that information until after this whole scene of, because Michael B is still hunting the killer for his wife. That's where they're going now. That's why they are where they are when the plane gets shot down, and he runs into the asshole character, and they're like, "Look, we working together. We're on the same team." Because they're hunting down the killer of his wife. So they find him, and turns out he was working for the CIA this whole time. So like, I don't know. That part was kind of convoluted to me. And he was like, "Look, you're supposed to die." He's talking to Michael B's character. He's like, "Look, you're supposed to die. Once you die, everything will be fine. The plan will go according to how it's supposed to, and everything will be great." So the dude, the killer, has a bomb strapped to his chest, and he's about to kill himself so he can die for the cause. And I'm like, that's crash test as hell, but whatever. He actually does blow himself up, but like as far as like lethal bombs, well, I guess all bombs are lethal, but as far as bomb explosion, that one didn't seem that big, bro. Like it barely shook the building, and it blew up like maybe part of the floor that he was on, because Michael B's character was still in the same room, and he wasn't even, like, the explosion just seemed very small. I don't know how you was expecting to blow everybody up with that motherfucker. But anyway, not the point. So they survived the explosion, and then they're all the whole group is trying to get out the building, because apparently there was some snipers there, and they're trying to snipe the fuck out of them. But then the cops show up, and the snipers start killing the cops, and that's when they realize, oh shit. They like, why are the snipers shooting at the cops? They're all Russian. And they're like, oh shit, you know what? They want to make it look like we killed the cops. So if they find, we already found some dead Americans killed by Russians on American soil. Now they finna find some dead Russians killed by Americans on Russian soil. That's gonna spark the war right there. And that's gonna spark the war right there. So they're like, oh fuck, we gotta get out of here, because if any of us are found dead here, they'll think, oh, America did this. So we gotta make sure everybody get out of here alive. So they end up getting out of there. Michael B's character is like, I'll hold them off while y'all get out of here. It's like a dope rooftop shootout scene that was pretty cool. Some people end up getting upstairs. He ends up jumping into the building through like a glass skylight and fighting his way downstairs. And then there's some more shooting. There's not really plot heavy. It's a good, don't get me wrong, it's a dope action scene, but as far as plot, there's not really much to discuss here. So he ends up getting out of there. He ends up how did he end up getting out of there? He ends up I think he created like a huge explosion himself, and then in the confusion he ended up getting one of the people's not costumes, one of the people's gear, and he put that on, so he looked like he was one of them, and then he just kind of like walked right out past them and hopped in like an ambulance and drove off to the rendezvous point. So he got out of there. He was good. They realized that's when they finally all put the pieces together. And they're like, oh shit, we know who the real villain is. It's the big boss white boy, the big boss white man. And honestly, not really, but I mean that's who we point the finger at right now. So he's out having a fancy dinner at a fancy place. Michael B's character sneaks up on him in the bathroom, and that's when Rich White Dude reveals the whole we need the country needs to have a united villain so they can stop fighting each other. It's like yeah, I get that. I understand that. That's fine. As far as evil plots go, this one's not that bad. I mean, not that bad as in it makes sense logic wise. Not it still sucks and it's an evil thing to do. So then somehow, not sure, but somehow Michael B knocks him unconscious and gets him out of the restaurant and into a car. Because the next thing we see Michael B choking him out. And then the next thing we see is they're in a car and he's waking up. How he got him out of there, I don't know. But it ain't my job to know. It's just my job to watch and then report to y'all. So he gets him out of there. They're in the car and he's like, spill the beans, tell me everything, yada yada yada. And he do. Eventually, he starts telling them the whole plot, and he's like, "You don't understand this and that, blah 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 blah." And then Michael B is like, "Yeah, you know what? You ain't had no right to take off. You ain't had no right to take my family from me." And he just drives the car off of a bridge. And the car is sinking, and he gets out of there, of course. Yeah, they don't really show how, but he gets out of there. And then the next thing you see is the asshole characters meeting with one of his bosses, and he's got a recording of everything that Big Boss White Guy was saying in the car. And so it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it turns out he was the bad guy. We got him, and I don't yada yada whatever. The next thing you see is it cuts to a funeral, and I guess it's supposed to be Michael B's funeral. I'm not sure. The only reason why I say it's supposed to be Michael B's funeral is because they give, usually at like a military funeral, they fold up a flag in a certain way, and then they give it to the next of kin in the family, usually like a wife or a child. But since he don't got no family, they gave it to his commanding officer, so that's why I'm assuming it was him. But they give it to him. She gets in the car, and Michael B's in the back seat. And then they they have a talk or whatever. The next thing you see them at the train station, and she gives him a new identity, and she gives him like a passport and stuff, and it says John Clark, and his real name's John Kelly. So they're like, John Kelly's supposed to be dead. John Kelly's supposed to be dead. So it's like, really? John Clark? Yeah, I didn't really put too much thought into that. And then there was a joke about the CIA not having no creativity. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but that's really close to his original name. So that is kind of dumb, though. Yeah, I could have went with Mark Phillip. There's so, I could have went with Bill Thompson. There's so many names, off the top of my head that y'all could have went with. Why would you go with something so goddamn close to his real name? I mean, it's like the same fucking amount of letters. And you didn't even change his first name at all. But we already been rattling on it long enough. But, yeah, so you see him, he leave. They have their talk, him and the commanding officer had their talk. Then they part ways. And then I think that was it. I think that's the credits, but then I think the credits get interrupted and you see Michael B's character, and he's in Washington. Because I think he's standing next to the Washington Monument, but I don't remember. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was in Washington. It looked like Washington. Well, it looked like DC. And the asshole pulls up, and they're talking, and he's like, well, what are you doing here, bro? I didn't expect to see you again. He was like, I need to talk to the president. He was like, bro, I don't know what the fuck are you talking about, bro? He's like, yeah, I need to talk to the president. I got an idea for a team of elite operatives from every single country. Well, not every single country, but from different countries that work together to keep the united, to keep peace across the world. And he's like, all right. I guess he just agreed. It was like, whatever. But then the interesting thing about this is that he says, I'm gonna call the team Rainbow. And I'm like, oh, is this supposed to be like a prequel to the Rainbow Six games? And I think technically it is, because I believe that all of the Tom Clancy stuff is in the same universe. I believe so. All his books, all his movies and games are all in the same universe. They all happen in the same thing. And that means fucking Jack Ryan? Jack Ryan's in the same universe as Splinter Cell. And they're in the same universe as The Division. and like all that shit, the Rainbow Six games, all that shit's in the same division. I mean, same divisions, but in the same universe. So yeah, so that was kind of a nice. That was because the whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, I wonder if all Tom Clancy stuff is a part of the same universe. And then they said this Rainbow thing, and then I look up the first Rainbow Six game, and one of the main characters in it was named John Clark or John Kelly, whichever one. I don't remember. I think it was John Clark. So it was like, oh, that's pretty dope. So all this shit is connected. That was the night. That's the thing I was alluding at the beginning, where I was like, this is really the only surprise twist that like can catch you off guard or anything, because it was like, oh, that's pretty dope that they did that. But yeah, I think that's it. I think I ran my mouth enough about this movie. Like I said at the beginning, I definitely enjoyed it. I loved it. It was dope. I think this is the it's definitely, I definitely recommend it. I definitely, once again, it's a Tom Clancy military government movie, and if you've seen Tom Clancy stuff or played games, you know how those go. So if you like those types of things, you'll love this. That's not your cup of tea, I wouldn't drink this. So yeah, but like I said, I enjoyed it. It's another Amazon Prime joint. Like I started off talking about Invincible, and I ended talking about Without Remorse. So the Amazon Prime connection there. I think that's it. I think we're about to wrap up the episode. This is the first episode in a long time. I want to say the whole show, but if not the whole show, then a long time where I'm not ending the show talking about a TV show of Disney Plus descent. So it's kind of weird, but hey, we're gonna have a few more episodes than that, because I think Loki's not out till like early June, because its update got, I mean, I say update, its release date got bumped up, and I think it was like, I ain't talking about it in here because I mean it's fine. I've already talked about that shit enough. But yeah, I think it got bumped up to early June, so that'll be around in no time. But we're not talking about that right now. We finna wrap up this show. This is the end. I've rambled on far too long, as I usually do. I just want to thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank y'all for spending time with me. I love y'all to death. I love doing this show, and I'm going to keep going. I hope I don't have any more skipped weeks. Once again, I apologize for that. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, all the day after the podcast drops, the video will be up on YouTube. If you prefer to watch it on there, it's there. Everywhere you can watch this, we'll have a link where you can subscribe to the podcast. Only if you want. It's not expected at all. Only if you want to support a little bit, $1, $5, it doesn't matter. Whatever you feel, or if you don't feel, that's cool too. I'll still love you equally. I know that seems kind of messed up to the people who do decide to donate. Damn, you ain't got no more love for us? I'm sorry, I gotta love all my peoples. I gotta love all my whatever nation family the same, man. But yeah, that's the end of the show. Thank y'all. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.